this is the most modern Jeep Wrangler out. There's probably going to come a point to where this is the only kind of Jeep Wrangler that you can get. It's going to be like some kind of hybrid thing. I'm pretty sure in the future V6s are going away, because I already heard word that about the Hurricane motors. They got a few different variants of the Hurricane motor, and the Hurricane motor is going to be getting implanted in a lot of the vehicles, especially the ones with the V8. There's a big difference. Gasoline only miles per gallon. This one gets 20. But gasoline and electric, you get 49 miles per gallon. So hybrid mode, you get 49 miles per gallon versus that one, it's going to be 21 average miles per gallon, you know? So
I don't want to talk. How you try and press the kid and read it?
today we got what is evolving into two of the most popular Jeep Wranglers out there, period. Despite your opinion, the V6 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon and the 2.0 turbo slash electric 4xe are evolving into the people's favorite Rubicons. Now, whether you prefer two-door or a four-door with a 392 or with a Hellcat swap or even just a Jeep Gladiator or something else, these ones are becoming the most popular 4x4s for off-road as far as the Jeep world goes. But there are some differences. So thank you for joining Slayage Me, because today we're going to explore the differences between electric versus gas. And I got to give a quick thanks to Earnhardt Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram out here in Gilbert, Arizona, because they're the ones that provided these vehicles. Now, when I look at their inventory as far as the Jeep Wranglers, the one that they got the most of is the 4xe, surprisingly. And as I go around town, I'm starting to see more and more of them as everywhere I go. Now, when you look at these, besides the engines, you can see that there's a couple different color schemes, like polar opposites when it comes to the colors. Now, you see the regular Rubicon with the V6 engine. This V6 engine, this is the newer style of V6 engine that they've been putting in there. There's the regular Pentastar V6, and then there's this V6 with the e-torque feature. The first time I saw one of these engines with the e-torque engine on there was on the Ram Rebel 1500. That new Ram Rebel 1500 with the crazy red interior. You should see like a little link up there coming up soon somewhere. And that one had the e-torque. Now you see, look here, there's a little electric motor right there, but because the way that it functions is not technically classified as a hybrid, so what it does is it gives you a slight bit of off the line extra punch, like a little slight bit of off the line punch, as well as you get like a little bit of regenerative features. So you get you can take that V6 engine and combine it with like a little bit more modern tech. That's something I like. That's modernizing. That's what I'm talking about. That's revolutionizing. Now going over to this one's got a 2-liter turbo engine. Now, the video I did before this, I did a full review of this. I'm basically just going to be showing you the differences between it. You should see a link up there popping up soon, so you can click and check out that review as well if you want to check that out. Otherwise, I'm going to get back to it. This one has a 2.0 turbo, and this one has, you see right there, it's got a Garrett turbo right there. You see a little turbo, that Garrett, it's a little toasty because I just did the review of this one. I just got done doing it, you see? So this is a full gasoline engine, and attached to the drivetrain is the electric motor. The thing that actually makes this a real hybrid, because this one, unlike this one only has this normal driving mode. This one has full gas mode, full electric mode, and hybrid mode. So you can go in between the best of both worlds. Now, if we continue on with the exterior, you see on the Rubicon with the V6, you see you got the red tow hooks. The Jeep wheels, it has that red Jeep right there. You see along the outside of the Jeep lettering right there is red. You know, Trail Rated is red. The Rubicon is red. You know, and if you haven't picked up on it, basically when you go to the 4xe or 4xe, all the parts on here that are usually red, like these tow hooks and this little wheel right there, excluding the tail lights and the headlights or anything like that, all those little red features are going to be blue on the 4xe. For example, the wheel, blue, Rubicon badge, blue, and it's not just regular blue. Like this is like just a regular glossy dark blood red color. But this right here, they went a little extra touch with the blue on here. It's not just regular blue. This is like a metallic blue that they put on here on these edges. It's metallic blue. Everywhere you see the blue is a metallic blue, except for on the wheels. But when you go here, metallic blue along the edge right there, metallic blue in the Trail Rated. This one comes with a special safari style sunroof, that newer style sunroof, you know, and I might pop that open a little bit, you know, when I do a quick little test drive of this one, because I'm gonna do a quick test drive of this one and a quick drive of that one as well, you know. But other than that, you know, it's like I said, the tow hook, the tire, you see taillights are still the same. But other than those color changes, the exterior of the vehicles look pretty much the same. You know, of course, this one has this one's optioned out with the halogen lights. This one's optioned with the standard style lens right there. But of course, all those things are upgradable, just like the suspension. You know, because when you get the Rubicon, you can get that red suspension. You know, that comes standard for the Rubicon. The Rubicons get that red shock right there. But you can also upgrade that to Fox suspension. And let me tell you firsthand, when you upgrade to the Fox suspension, it makes the ride so much smoother. So if you're going to be doing a lift or anything, you know, when you get a lift or bigger tires, you suffer on the ride quality. That was one of my biggest pet peeves for the Extreme Recon, because it comes with bigger wheels. It comes with 35s, and it comes with like a slightly bigger lift on it, you know. So I didn't like the ride, because I spoiled myself, because sometimes when I go on a road trip, I use the Jeep Gladiator Mojave, which has that dual piston, like, you know, the Fox suspension, like the best Fox suspension. That one's got like the smooth ride for real. But this one, you know, when you get the regular Rubicon without the Fox suspension, like the Extreme Recon didn't have the Fox suspension, it just had these regular ones, but it still had the lift and the 35s, and like the ride was so much rougher versus when I rented one with the Fox suspension. Even just the regular Fox suspension makes a big difference. So if you're gonna be lifting or you're gonna be putting bigger wheels, I definitely suggest, you know, you get them Fox suspension if you want to have a smooth ride. Otherwise, you know, just, hey, I told you. But let's go and check out the interior of this vehicle, because there's a couple of differences between the two. First off, I'm gonna start with the gas one. And when you turn on, first thing you notice is you got an actual engine noise. You know, you hear sound and everything. So like I said, in the other one, everything that was blue in that one, this one has red features. Now, I don't remember if this panel right here is red in the 4x8. You got the red stitching right here, as well as on the seats. You know, you got red Rubicon inside. You got red stitching everywhere. You know, everything out that is originally blue on the 4xe is red inside this one. You know, but other than that, all the other stuff, you know, everything else is basically the same. But one thing I noticed on this one, the four-wheel drive shifter is standard. This is a standard four-wheel drive shifter, because when you go to 4xe, it's a little bit different. I'm going to show you in a second. This one has 2 high, 4 high, neutral, and 4 low. You know, it's got the locker and all that, so off-road plus, sway bars, etc., etc. But one thing that's different on this one that one has upgraded on is that special retractable roof, the one that's electric that slides back. Now, there's a couple different ones. On the Extreme Recon, that one was the first convertible Jeep that I've driven that didn't have like the hard top. It was the first soft top convertibles. You know, it had like the modular kind where you just hit the levers, you do 2 spring, pop, pop, and just push it back. You know, versus the new one I just did, the 4xe, which I'm gonna show you in a little bit, has the kind where you just push a button and it pops open. But this one is super simple. You just pop, 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 and that's it. And then comes off. When you do this, do the driver's side first, because they're like, the two are overlapped. And then when you put it back in, there's like a little pin right here that slides in right there. Super simple to do. Like I'm telling you, in the future, I'm going to be getting me a Jeep, because I love off-road and taking my family off-road and stuff like that. These are definitely some capable vehicles. That's one thing I really like about the Jeeps. Now, let's go check out the other one real quick. Now, check this one out. When you start this one up, it's dead. It's kind of silent, you know? Now, depending on when you started, because I had this thing started up earlier, so the engine, that gasoline engine is actually on, so it's at 1500 RPM. But sometime when you first start it up, the engine doesn't cut on, so the engine won't cut on. It'll be dead silent. That's how it was earlier. When I started up, it's dead silent, and all you hear is, and at first it's just completely electric. Now here's the clarity. Here's the answer. This panel right here is not blue. It's more like a gunmetal gray color, kind of like the color of some of the accents that's on the exterior of the vehicle. But you see right here the stitching. Instead of red, it's blue. Look at the seats. You see the stitching, still blue. You know, instead of a red Rubicon, it's blue Rubicon. You know, nice interior. But other than that, the vehicle is basically the same aesthetically. You know, the speakers and stuff like that. This one is like the top of line one, so it comes like the Alkaline system. So, you know, that's something that's optionable. You know, there's a lot of things that are optionable, you know, across the platforms, you know, like the suspension, you know, like the roof and stuff like that. You know, some of the things are optional, so you don't have to just settle for what you get. If you want to order one customly, you can do that as well. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and drive the V6 one first, because that one's already on, and you know, I just want to compare, you know, original to new. Like I said, if you want to check out the full review of this vehicle, it's the one just before this one. So go ahead and check that out. As well as I got a whole bunch of other videos too. Before I forget, you see right here on the shifter, remember I told you it was a little bit different. This one says 2 high, 4 high auto, and then 4 high part-time. So that's a little bit more efficiently. So it's like you got a little bit more computer brain, you know, going up in there. You can switch between the two depending on your needs, and neutral and then 4 low. So it's like that's like 4 high to like the next level. So instead of just being regular 4 high, you got 2 modes for the 4 high, which is cool. You know, some of the things are still the same. You know, like the little lever right here on the shifter, that's still red. And then this guy right here, where it's the locker, that's still red as well. But other than that, a lot of the things are the same. But one thing that is exclusive on the 4iE is this little switch right here. You got this little option to go hybrid, electric, and e-save. Hybrid means electric and gas. Electric is just full electric, but we're going to explore those features in a little bit. I got it in 2 high, and I think I'm going to keep it in 2 high because basically four-wheel drive doesn't feel like it's more powerful or anything, and you don't really notice a difference for four-wheel drive unless you're going to be like going off-road, and that's when it's actually useful, you know, like on the road or like the rocks or the snow or something. And if you want to check out my review of Jeep Gladiator in the snow, go and check out that video. I'll put the link up right here. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the video. But real quick, I want to tell you a little bit of important information. Now hold on real quick. The video's going to come back in like 15 seconds. So I want to share something with you. Very important. I got another YouTube channel, my main YouTube channel, and on that channel I share some very important information, probably some of the most important information you're going to be able to find on YouTube. All right, it's not just information about cars, it's information about you, people, your health. And this is really important because there's so many people out there who suffer from things like IBS, inflammation, joint pain, back pain, there's so many things. So if you never heard of alkaline versus acidic food, H3O2, you got IBS, you want to learn how to do detox for free, all kind of little methods, as well as some little product reviews, I suggest you check out my other channel. Back to the video. Link below in the description. But this one, I got it in 2 high. You hear that engine noise, you know, feel the power, you know. I want to see how much difference it really has, you know, as far as drivability, you know, because apples to oranges makes a big difference. You know, some people got, you know, upset stomach with the oranges. You know, some people don't like the texture of apples, you know, so that's what the purpose of the video is, you know, so you can see for yourself what's worth for you going to take like a test drive or something like that. So something I noticed about this one compared to the 4xe, it doesn't go until you put your foot on the gas, versus the 4xe, you know, it kind of starts get going, like whether in reverse or drive, automatically. As soon as you put it in the gear, it's already starting to get going a little bit, you know. So I think that's because of the electric drivetrain. But for this one, other than the noise, it's not like the 4xe is significantly faster or anything like that. I talked about that in the full review of that vehicle. They kind of keep the vehicles at like a same, like kind of like a similar benchmark as far as output, you know, for the drivability, you know, for what you're going to be doing it here and there, what you can do with it, you know, even as far as like, you know, your range and stuff like that. One thing is when you get this vehicle lifted or bigger wheels, you got to worry about the efficiency. And some people may say, oh, you don't get a Jeep for efficiency, it's well miles per gallon. And I do agree with you, get a Jeep Wrangler for miles per gallon, but imagine if you can get more gallons. So if you can get more gallons, it means you can get more smiles, right? Like, I don't care. I want my inefficient old school V8. I need a V8. I need the old V6. Like this one is even an upgraded V6. This is the V6 with the e-torque feature on there. So that's like taking the regular V6 and upgrading. You know, more efficient. You know, you get regenerative braking, and you get the off the line, little bit of punch. It's not meant to be a whole bunch. It's not supposed to be like a difference in like, woo, I'm accelerating like a Tesla, because it's not a Tesla. It's just meant to, if the electric motor can help give you a little boost off the line, then you'll save a little bit of gas where it counts. Like, because where do you use the most gas? Off the line, and when you're going low speeds, that's where most of your fuel consumption happens. You save the most gas when you're on the freeway. All right. So speaking of saving gas, I'm right back here to the 4xe, and I'm gonna take that for a little spin. Now, I've done plenty of reviews and driven plenty of Jeeps, so if you want to check out my other Jeep videos, you want to get more in-depth understanding, go and check it out. I probably might change my YouTube channel to the Jeep guy, because that's what a lot of my videos I've done is on Jeeps, because I love Jeeps. You know, some people may be biased, you know, oh, the Ford Bronco's way better. You know, I mean, I don't know. I stepped I went to check out a Bronco, and I checked it out, and I was like, some of the parts inside was kind of shaky and stuff. I was like, man, this Bronco, it's Ford is still Ford. That's what I was thinking to myself, man. Ford is still Ford. The little arm grip, it was too loose to be something for an off-road vehicle. But anyway, I'm ranting. I digress. Let's check out the 4xe. All right, here we go. Like I said before, when you start it up, sometimes it doesn't make any noise. When I start it up, you wouldn't even be able to tell that it's on, because the only thing I hear is AC. Like, turn that on, and the only thing you hear is the air conditions. Look, it's on. You see all the gauges are on. It's got my charge, my little battery percentage, etc., etc. But the RPMs are at 0, and it still says ready. We got the ready. The vehicle is saying, okay, we're good to go. Now let's get this silent treatment on the road, because I like a silent vehicle. Something I noticed when you're in a nice quiet car, you can enjoy, your smiles per gallon, and you're getting your smiles per gallon. Like, imagine getting more smiles per gallon. And plus, like I said, this is the most modern Jeep Wrangler out. There's probably going to come a point to where this is the only kind of Jeep Wrangler that you can get. Is going to be like some kind of hybrid thing. I'm pretty sure in the future V6s are going away, because I already heard word that about the Hurricane motors. They got a few different variants of the Hurricane motor, and the Hurricane motor is going to be getting implanted in a lot of the vehicles, especially the ones with the V8. Unless you're going to be getting like a big vehicle, the V8's not even going to be available. What I've noticed so far is the gasoline engine only cuts on. Now you can hear it, right? Gasoline engine only cuts on when you like really get going, like when you want to step on it, versus like if you're just cruising, say like maybe you're just going around the corner or something, here, there, maybe drive through the neighborhood, or like cruising off-road or something. When you have it in electric mode, it stays silent. So right now I put it back in electric mode. It's in electric mode right now, and it's dead silent again. So I'm just gonna try coast, see how long I can. And you actually, when it's in electric mode, you can keep it in electric mode. That's the cool thing about this. You can switch the functions. You can have it electric, gas, hybrid mode if you want to. And but to be honest, hybrid is going to be able to give you the most punch, because when you put this in gasoline is like taking your power to like a restricted level, and so is electric. When you put it in electric, that's like having like a restricted mode. So like it's not going to give you as much power, because this vehicle is built around having them combined. So let me go. So even if I punch it, you still don't hear very much. So I'm gonna close that back up, because that wind noise is interfering with my audio collection of this electric engine right here. I'm gonna stop again, so I'm gonna let y'all, maybe you can hear it a little bit better with the top closed. But you see right there, I had it in hybrid when it started. Now it's in electric mode right here. So I'm gonna try the start again. See, I got it right here. Let's start. Let's see how it goes. So it has the option to function like a full, electric vehicle, but it's not going to perform like a vehicle that's only electric, because this was based around being a hybrid. But you still get to enjoy being electric, So when you go off road or something, safari mode, you could drop, if you want to get like the fully optioned out version, with the top like this, the electric top, When you go off road and you get your safari on, you could be quiet. You can like sneak up on like deer and stuff, because what are deer? They're like the most pressure sensitive, noise sensitive creatures in the whole woods. Like a pigeon will stare you right in the eye. Like, what you gonna do? Pigeons ain't scared, but a deer will flee. They don't run. Deers flee. There's a difference between running and fleeing. Deers flee. Humans run. Deers flee. Nice and quiet. I'm gonna switch it to the gasoline. So you put it in e-save mode. See right there, it says e-save mode. E-save mode saves battery for later use. You put it in e-save mode. You hear a little engine in. See, you heard it revving like, it was going to 4,000 RPM, but the 2-liter turbo is just, it's not a very powerful engine. This thing, it thrives when it's in hybrid mode. So I would say for this vehicle, hybrid mode or electric mode is my favorite. And I would only use gasoline mode like if you need to. Say like if you're somewhere and like you need to save your little bit of electricity or something. But one thing I like about this vehicle, say like if you're scared of like the whole charging platform, all you gotta do is get yourself some solar panels. Like me, I live in a nice warm area, nice hot Arizona. So Electric car like this would thrive in an area where, like, if you get your own solar panels, like out here, like so many people have solar panels on top of their roof. So this having like an electric car is ideal for if you have like solar panels, or even if you live somewhere where it's cold, because solar panel doesn't mean that it needs heat. It doesn't need to be hot to collect sun. It just needs sunlight. So as long as you live in an area where it's not like dust and gloomy all the time, you got some good sunlight, then you can be able to collect plenty of sun and power your electric car. So even if you only want to spend money on like a little bit of gas, or say if you don't want to use much gas at all, and just every time you use gas you barely sipping on it, just sipping on it. Like this car like literally sips gas like a straw, just. But next, what I'm going to do is we're going to go over the price of these vehicles, because I know a lot of people are curious about it, and the difference between price is something that you gotta consider, with these kind of vehicles. So stay tuned. All right, so I went up to the V6 and grabbed the card for it. There's a little bit of a difference in price for these vehicles. They both come with an 8-speed automatic, except the 4xe comes with a slightly different version. Like I said, the differential for 4-wheel drive has 2 different modes for 4 high. You got 4 auto and 4 high part-time. The 4xe has the more modern version of the 8-speed automatic, as well as you got the upgraded differential, the upgraded 4-wheel drive version. Something that makes this one a little more expensive is this fancy top. This top is like $4,000, but the base price of the regular V6 is $47,500, and then the base price of this one, the 4xe, is $60K. And you see, so here's a difference. Here's a big difference. Gasoline only miles per gallon, this one gets 20, but gasoline and electric, you get 49 miles per gallon. So hybrid mode, you get 49 miles per gallon, versus that one, it's going to be 21 average miles per gallon. So give and take, the way you look at it, however you want to, it just depends on what you want to get. Some people are stubborn, they want to stick with the V6 only, but that V6 is an upgraded V6, not the regular Pentastar. It's the e-torque version. That's like an upgraded V6, that's dope for me. It's called the 3.6 V6 24 valve VVT, very valve timing, e-torque engine with start stop. So the engine does turn off when you stop, and then it turns back on when you go. That's another feature that helps save gas. But other than that, a lot of the features on these vehicles are pretty much the same. 4-to-1 steering ratio, 4-to-1 rock track, 410 gear ratio, 17-inch wheels. But I will say, I'm a fan of this electric top. This electric top right here, if you can get something like this, I think like this is definitely the way of the future. Now, I did a review of the 4xe Jeep Grand Cherokee, and that one had like adjustable suspension. It was a 4xe Jeep Grand Cherokee Trailhawk. I'll leave a little link up here. You can check it out. That one was actually pretty cool, but that one was like a little bit more luxurious version of this one, versus this one. This 4xe is more like a rugged, hybrid vehicle. That one was a little more fancy, adjustable height suspension, versus this one comes, it's already up. It's already up off the ground. It's already big. This one's meant for real off-roading, versus like someone who wants an off-roader, like a hybrid Trailhawk that you can take off-roading, but it's most people are going to use it for grocery shopping or something like that. I think that will get slightly better gas mileage, because it's a little bit smaller vehicle. It doesn't have the big wheels like this one, but that one can move up. It can lift up. That was pretty cool. But apples to oranges. So at this point, it's just all about preference. This is Slage Media. If you've stayed all the way to the end, please hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because it's a small YouTube channel. I'm trying to get this growing so I can do more detailed car reviews, more comparison, more car reviews, to show what's what, let you see all in depth up in there. Because when I do car reviews of just a single car, I make sure the videos are really in depth. I get all up in there and everything. You guys take care of yourselves. Peace.